Hey there, I'm going to talk today a bit about how to solo over 1, 4, 5 chords, which are your basic harmony. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of tunes written on 1, 4, and 5. And what I mean by that is the 1 chord. So if you're harmonizing the major scale, you're going to play a major chord, major triad, which is root, third, fifth. It's in the key of C. So the 1 is the major chord built on the 1, which would be C. And over the 4th note of the C scale, which is F, you would play the F major chord, and the 5th note is G. Now, a very common scale to use over that chord progression is the minor pentatonic scale, based on the relative minor of the major key you're in. So, in other words, to find the relative minor of a major, it's the 6th note of the major scale. So in this case, it would be A minor. So A is the 6th note. It would be A minor pentatonic scale, which is root, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7. So penta being 5 notes. So that's A, C, D, E, G. So when you're soloing, so that's, in other words, that scale will fit over those 3 chords very nicely. If you want to get a bit more in depth with them, and really make the chords all sound like they really fit. When you get to the 4 chord, we're missing a very important note of that chord if you just use that scale, and that note is the root. So the root of the 4th chord is not in the minor pentatonic scale we're using. So we're going to have to add it. Just by simply playing an F while you're playing that scale, if you land on it, play it as the land note, it'll sound amazing. And it'll really make that chord sound like it fits in the progression. And it makes you sound like you know how to solo a bit through chord changes, which is good. The 5 chord is missing the 3rd, which is the B in this case. So, and this math equation, as we say, fits in all keys. So the root chord, if you're using the relative minor pentatonic. The root chord, all the notes are in the minor pentatonic scale. The 4 chord, you have to add the root of the 4 chord, whatever key you're in this case we're in the key of C, so the 4 chord is F, you have to add an F. And the 5 chord is missing the 3rd note. So in this case, it's G is the chord, B is the note. So just by adding those 2 different notes, so for C, F, and G. Just by adding the F over the 4 chord and the B over the G over the 5 chord, it's going to sound great. Another thing to keep in mind is really understand what the notes of the chord are, the chord tones. So again, these are major triads, which means root, 3rd, 5th, 1st note, 3rd note, and 5th note of the scale. So for C, since we're in the key of C, C is 1. In a C chord, it's C, E, G. In an F chord, it's F, A, C. Again, we're going to add the F because it's not in that scale. And G is G, B, D. And again, B is the note that's not in that scale. So I'm just going to demonstrate this a bit, just by adding those two notes. So again, the root for the 4th chord and the 3rd for the 5th chord within the A minor or within the relative minor pentatonic scale, it'll sound great. Hope that helps. Thanks.